إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. O you who believe, fear Allah as it should be feared and do not die except in the state of Islam, except that you are Muslims. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. O mankind, fear your guardian Lord who created you from a single soul, and from that soul he created its mates, and from them came many men and women. So fear Allah, from whom you demand your mutual rights, and respect the wombs that bore you. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا. O you who believe, fear Allah and say a good word directed to the truth. يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم. In consequence or in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rectify your deeds and forgive you your sins. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. And whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, then indeed has attained a great success. أما بعد, and after which follows, فَإِنَّ أَصْدَقَ الْحَدِيثِ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. The best speech is the book of Allah, the Quran. وَخَيْرَ الْهَدِي هَدْيُ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. And the best example is the example of Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. وَشَرَّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا. And the worst of the affairs are the newly invented matters. فَإِنَّ كُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ. For every newly invented matter is an innovation. وَكُلَّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ. And every innovation is a misguidance. وَكُلَّ ضَلَالَةٍ فِي النَّارِ. And every misguidance leads to the fire. First and foremost, may Allah reward the brothers in Maktaba Salafiyya, Naam, for having good opinion in inviting us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive them and guide us all and make this gathering a proof for us, not against us. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, when يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. When no wealth will benefit anyone, nor any children, except that you come to Allah with a pure heart. You come to Allah with ikhlas, and you come to Allah with the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So by Allah, this is a gathering, inshallah, a gathering of dhikr, a gathering of ilm, a gathering of qala Allah, qala Rasulullah, qala Sahaba. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those whose actions are better than their speech. Because that is the reality in the end. It's going to be our actions, and going to be our aqeedah and our manhaj that is going to be questioned, and is going to be in front of us, either aiding us, helping us, or against us. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who are true to our speech, who are those who are mukhlis, those who are sincere. لَأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. Shaitan will lead all of them astray except the ones who are sincere worshippers amongst them. So may Allah make us sincere in our speech and in our actions, and that we die upon this iman, this tawheed and sunnah, that we do not leave this life except upon La ilaha illallah, and upon Muhammad Rasulullah, upon this aqeedah of testifying that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His last and final messenger sent to mankind. So as a reminder to myself and our brothers, that we have come here in order to benefit, inshallah, to the best of our ability, and also that we use it, inshallah, we will use it in order to bring about that which, inshallah, will bring about khair in the akhirah from good actions, in being in a masjid waiting for the salah, and listening to what Allah said and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has conveyed. In defense of Uthmaan radiallahu anhu, the companions radiallahu anhum, Allah praised them in many verses in the Quran. From the verses Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions, He says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ تَبَعُهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ وَالَّذِينَ تَبَعُهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. The Sabiqun al-Awwalun, the first to become Muslims, from the Muhajirun and the Ansar. He mentioned the Muhajirun first, the migrants who migrated from Mecca to Medina. And Uthmaan radiallahu anhu was from them. Uthmaan radiallahu anhu, who was the fourth amongst the Muslim men to become a Muslim, under the da'wah of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, called him to Islam, called him to accept kalimat al-tawheed, la ilaha illallah, and he accepted radiallahu anhu. Migrated two migrations, the migration to Ethiopia, Habasha, when the Muslims were being persecuted in Mecca, the mushrikun were persecuting them, the polytheists were persecuting them, and he, radiallahu anhu, under the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went to Mecca, to Habasha, from Mecca, with the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first of them, the first of his wives, Ruqayya radiallahu anha. So he's from the Sabiqun, Al-Awwalun, from the first to accept Islam, and from the first of the companions in the early part where the Muslims were being persecuted and they went through hardship and difficulties, but they were firm upon their deen. And Allah mentioned them first, was-Sabiqun al-Awwalun min al-Muhajirin wal-Ansar. And then He mentioned the Ansar, the helpers of Medina, the ones that وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. Even though they didn't have much, they would give to their brothers who have come as migrants from Mecca. They would give from what they held, what they had from possessions, what they had of wealth, what they had of food, and they would help their brothers. True brotherhood, ukhuwah, true brotherhood. And the reality of realizing that verse, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ, that the believers are brothers to each other. Realizing that, perfecting that amongst themselves, radiallahu anhum, al-Ansar, the helpers. وَالَّذِينَ تَبَعُهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ, and those that follow them upon righteousness. Shaykh Salih Fawzan Hafidhullah said, look, they didn't just follow them, but they followed them upon righteousness. They didn't just claim to follow them, but they followed them upon ihsan, being like they were, trying to emulate them, trying to practice what they practiced, and loving them, and aiding them, and defending them, radiyallahu anhum. That's in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 100. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah said, Allah the Exalted informed that He is pleased with the first to embrace Islam from the immigrants and their helpers, and those who follow them correctly. So accursed be those who hate them or revile all or some of them, especially the best of the companions after the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best and most superior of them, I mean the great truthful one, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. May Allah be pleased with him. Forsaken amongst the Rawafid, have enmity towards the best of the companions and hate and revile them. We seek refuge in Allah from this. And he continued mentioning the rest of the companions, or the rest of the first to embrace Islam, and the best of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Ibn Hajar rahimahullah said, Ahlul Sunnah have agreed that it is obligatory to forbid cursing any one of the companions due to the fighting that took place between them, even if those were in the right were known, because it was a matter of ijtihad, that each and every one of them strove in order to bring about the correct position, and so therefore the one who errs was excused in striving to reach a judgment. Rather it is established, he says, that he will be rewarded with one reward, and one who is correct in his judgment will receive two rewards. So it's not permitted for any one of us to speak ill of the companions. Allah praised them in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ himself praised them, and he said, إِذَا ذُكِرَ أَصْحَابِ فَامْسِكُوا, when my companions are mentioned, then withhold your tongue. Don't start speaking about them. Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has saved us from using any weapon, and that time saved us from using our hands to harm any one of them, then may Allah protect us from saving and protect us from guarding our tongue from any one of them. Because the believers, they're the ones who say, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Those who came after them, what do they say? They supplicate, our Lord, do not put in our hearts ghil, any hatred for any one of them. غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, for the believers. رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Our Lord, you are the most kindest, you are the beneficent, the merciful, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And not let in our hearts, do not let in our hearts have any rancor, any hatred, any detest for any one of them. Any hatred for any one of them. لَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ. So in this there is protection of the tongue and protection of the heart. رَبَّنَا وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ, they speak and they say, رَبَّنَا forgive us and those that have preceded us in faith. And do not let in our hearts have any rancor towards them. Look, two things. tongue and hearts. Not to have any malice, any hatred, because they're the best people ever to be of this ummah. After Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, Allah looked into the hearts of the servants and chose the heart of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be the best of the hearts of the servants and made him as his last and best messenger, the last of the messengers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And after that, from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he looked into the hearts of the servants and chose the hearts of the Sahaba to be the best of the hearts of the servants. And he chose them as his ministers. He chose them as his companions, radiyallahu anhum ajma'een. So Allah is pleased with them. And Allah loves them, radiyallahu anhum, wa radu anh. How can it not be when they were the ones who memorized the Quran and they memorized the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and carried this deen far and wide? How could it not be when they strove their utmost with their effort, with their striving in order to defend this deen? How could it not be when they, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they're the ones that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, خَيْرُ النَّاسِ قَرْنِي ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ. The best people are my generation, then them to come after them, then them to come after them. Hadith mutawatir, authentic, in Sahih al-Bukhari. The best people ever to be of this ummah, the best in terms of their aqeedah, in their manhaj, the best in terms of their piety, in their ibadah, in their worship, the best of the companions. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من دعا الناس إلى هدى كان له من الأجر من تبعه لا ينقص من أجورهم شيئا. Whoever calls the people to guidance, he will have the reward of all those that follow him in that, without their reward diminishing. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum, look, they memorized and they called us to all good. This hadith, as Shaykh Abdul Muhsin Abbad mentioned, that this hadith is proof that, this is in his Durus of Sunan Majah, he said this is proof that the ones who call to guidance, the one who called to guidance are the best of the people, because they get the reward of all those that follow them. So who is the best of us? Who is the best of us? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the best of the people, because he is the one who called us to all good. Abu Dharr Ghifari radiallahu anhu said, تركنا رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم وما طائر يقلب جناحيه في الهواء إلا وأخبرنا عنه. The Prophet ﷺ left us upon a way that even the bird flapping its wing in the sky, he told us about it. Even the bird, he told us about it. And whatever is going to get you closer to Jannah, he told us about it. Whatever is going to keep you away from the hellfire, he told us about it. He left us upon a way so complete, you don't need to add to it. You don't need to delete from it. And you shouldn't delete from it, and you shouldn't add from it to it. He left us upon a clear way. So he called us to all good. And who called us to all good? After Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about them, primarily is them and those who follow them. نَضَّرَ اللَّهُ امْرِئًا سَمِعَ مَقَالَتِي فَوَعَّاهَا وَأَدَّاهَا كَمَا سَمِعَهَا. May Allah brighten the face of a person who hears my saying. فَوَعَّاهَا. And he understood it. And he memorized it. وَأَدَّاهَا كَمَا سَمِعَهَا. And he conveyed it as though he just heard it, or as though he heard it. يعني exactly as he heard it. فَوَعَّاهَا. قال ابن أثير in غريب الحديث, Ibn Athir said, فَوَعَّاهَا فَهِمَهَا. He understood it. Not just memorize. Some people think memorize a few hadith, memorize some verses, go to this country, go to that country, come back, mashallah, Ibn Taymiyyah thinks that he has reached the sky. لا يا ولدي أو لا يا أخي. الشيخ Rabi Hafidh says, لا يا ولدي لا تستعجل. Don't be hasty. طلب العلم is long path. من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Whoever chose the path of knowledge, سلك طريق العلم, he chose the path of knowledge, Allah makes the path of Jannah easy for him. It's not something you do in 1 year or 6 months or 2 years. Shaykh Rabi Hafidullah says, 2 years? What can you learn in 2 years? Enough for you to... What is 2 years? ما يكفي. MashaAllah, 6 months they come. 6 months, and all of a sudden, chest out, nose up in the air, arrogance. This is not knowledge. This is kibr. Knowledge is fear of Allah. As Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah said, there's 2 types of knowledge. Knowledge of the tongue and knowledge of the heart. As for knowledge of the tongue, it is data. Many people can speak. But knowledge of the heart is fear of Allah. Even though that narration is not authentic in its sanad, its meaning is correct, as the ulama have said. Its meaning is correct. And that is knowledge is fear of Allah. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Those who fear Allah the most are the ulama. Because they have knowledge of what? Of data? No. They have knowledge of قال الله قال رسول قال الصحابة قال الصحابة ليس بالتمويه ما العلم نصبك لخلاف سفاهات بين الرسول وبين رأي فقيه. Knowledge is what Allah and His Messenger and His companions convey. This is knowledge. Knowledge is not, I heard, سمعت فلان, and I said like him. Knowledge is قال الله قال رسول الله قال الصحابة. This is knowledge. And it is foolishness to compare any statement of Rasulullah ﷺ with anyone or any statement of the scholars in opposition to that if it's a mistake. No. You cannot. قول Rasulullah ﷺ without condition, you accept it unconditionally. If it's authentic, it is from Rasulullah ﷺ, we accept it wholeheartedly. And likewise, the statements of the Sahaba when they unite upon a matter, and then we take it as deen. Ummati la tajtami' ala dalala, because my ummah does not unite upon misguidance. So the Sahaba have been praised and have been raised. للفقراء المهاجرين الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم وأموالهم يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا وينصرون الله ورسوله أولئك هم الصادقون. Allah called them صادقون, that they are truthful, the most truthful, because they are the ones who strove to uphold this deen. So Allah brightened their faces, illuminated their faces. Why? Because they understood this deen. They had fahm, not faham. They had fahm of this deen, understanding, fiqh. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث البخاري المسلم من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. Whoever Allah wishes to show goodness to, whoever Allah wants to show goodness to, He gives him understanding of the religion. And he said to Abdulillaah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, Allahumma waffiqhu fi ddin wa allimhu ta'wil. Oh Allah, give him understanding in the religion and teach him ta'wil, the understanding, the meaning behind Quran, behind ayat. And Ibn Abbas, as you know, radiallahu anhuma, from the best of the Sahaba in understanding the Quran, radiallahu anhu. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated the most hadith, more than 5,000 hadith. Of course, any one of us who practice those narrations, he will get the reward, because he called us to all that good, radiallahu anhu. And the rest of the companions who memorized the Quran, gathered the Quran, and we will come to Uthmaan radiallahu anhu in more detail. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who love the companions. Look what Aisha radiallahu anha said. After that verse was mentioned, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ. Oh Allah, forgive us. This is what we should say. Those who came after them, they say, oh Allah, forgive us, and those who have preceded us in faith, and do not make in our hearts any rancor towards them. What did Aisha radiallahu anha say? What did she say? She said, they have been ordered to seek forgiveness for the companions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So instead of that, they ended up cursing them. Yani, those who reviled the Sahaba. And she recited this verse. And then Nawawi rahimahullah said, it seems that she said this when she heard the people of Egypt saying what they were saying about Uthmaan radiallahu anhu. When she heard people speaking about Uthmaan radiallahu anhu, she said this. She recited the verse and she said this. The people of Sham, what they were saying about Ali radiallahu anhu, and the Haruriyah, the Khawarij, saying all that they were saying. As for the order to seek forgiveness, then she pointed out, it refers to her saying, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَ بِالْإِيمَانِ. So may Allah make us of those who love them, those who have a love for them, and those who speak well of them, and make excuse for them. Not to look at any minute action that is incorrect or a mistake and to enlarge it for the people to see, or write a whole page, let alone a whole page, saying that they did this, they did this, they did this of errors. And at the end, this is only a little compared to much that they have brought from errors. No, this is not the way of Ahlul Sunnah. Ahlul Sunnah, do not do that. That's a gift for the Rafidah. That's a gift for those who hate the companions. You don't do that. Rather, you make excuse for them. You seek forgiveness for them. Naam. And you speak well of them. For they are the best people ever to be. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade that we have even rancor, any hatred in our hearts towards any of them. We love them. So just as Allah saved us from any harm towards them with our hands, then we should save our tongues from speaking ill about any one of them. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, and we say, and the scholars always tell us, wallahi, Sheikh Muhammad al-Madkhali hafidhahullah, one time he was reading one of the books of Salaf, Al-Ibana, and Mukhtasar Al-Ibana, and he hit the book, he got our attention. And he said, this is between us and the innovators. Between us and the innovators are these books, the books of the Salaf. So we keep bringing always the narrations of the Salaf, because the Salafi is athari. And this is why it was said in one of the sittings of Abu Zur'a, alayka bil hadithi wa ahlihi. Upon you is to be with hadith and its people, the ahlul hadith. Not ahl hadith, ahlul hadith, the people of hadith, who love hadith and who love the narrations. alayka bil hadithi wa ahlihi. فَرَأْيُ لَيْلٌ وَالْحَدِيثُ نَهَارُ. Because opinion is night while hadith is day. Hadith is day, it's clear. Opinion is night. He says, I think. This one says, I heard. This one says, I think. My shaykh said, no. Bring hadith. قال الله, قال Rasulullah, قال Sahaba. And bring athar, bring narrations. This is the way of salvation. Shaykh Muhammad bin Hadi said, between us and the innovators are these books. This is why the ulama, day in, day out, are teaching these books. Usul al-Sunnah of Imam Ahmad, Sharh al-Sunnah of Muzani, Qirawaniya of Ibn Abi Zayd al-Qirawani, Al-Maliki al-Saghir in the 4th century. This is why they are reviving these books. Sharh al-Sunnah of Barbahari, who came afterwards, and those earlier. Sarih al-Sunnah of At-Tabari, who died 310 Hijriya. They are bringing out these statements. Usul al-Sunnah, Usul i'tiqad al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah of Al-Lalikai, full of narrations of the Salaf, of the pious predecessors, for they were the best people and they loved the Sahaba. Look what Imam Ahmad rahimahullah is saying. And we need to go back to these books and to revive these books. He said in his Kitab al-Sunnah, Usul al-Sunnah indana. What did he say? The first line, Usul al-Sunnah indana, tamassuk bima kana alayhi ashabu Rasulillah. The foundation of Sunnah, the Aqeedah, the fundamentals of this deen with us is first and foremost to hold on to what the Sahaba radiallahu anhu were upon. Tamassuk bima kana alayhi ashabu Rasulillah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And anyone, he says, who speaks about them, then he is an innovator, a Rafidi. Loving them is sunnah, and supplicating for them is nearness, and taking them as examples is a means to get closer to Allah. And to take their statements is an honor. Allahu Akbar. Ey wallah. فَعَلَيْكَ بِالْحَدِيثِ وَأَهْلِهِ رَأْيُ لَيْلٌ وَالْحَدِيثُ نَهَارُ وَلَرُبَّمَا غَلِطَ الْفَتَى سُبُلَ الْهُدَى وَالشَّمْسُ بَازِغَةً لَهَا أَنْوَارُ. It may be a youth doesn't know the path of guidance in the daytime. He can't see the path. He can't see the light. He can't see the guidance while the sun is shining in its splendor. This deen is not cloudy. It is clear. The sunnah is clear. The way of the Sahaba is clear. It's clear for who? Those who strive, those who are sincere, those who want to learn, those who read Quran, those who read the sunnah. They take from the ulama. They love the ulama. But it is cloudy for those who have a disease in their heart. It is cloudy for those who miss the plot. What is the plot? To love Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam unconditionally, to follow them unconditionally. What is the plot? To love the Sahaba and follow their way. That is the plot. But you're trying to gather narrations, in order to say that they have fallen into error, that they have made big errors, and to highlight those errors, and to say that they have even fallen into innovation, and they have brought newly invented matters. A'udhu billah, you missed the plot. You missed the plot. As Shaykh Rabi Hafidullah mentions, and we'll come to that. You missed the plot. Do not revile my companions. Who said that? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. La tasubbu ashabi. Regarding an occurrence between two companions, Abdurrahman ibn Auf and Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anhuma. Khalid ibn Walid, who came later to Islam, he said, it's only a few days that you have preceded us by. Only a few days you came before us. Yani it's not that much of a gap between me and you, basically. Yani only a few days between us that you have preceded us by. What did Abdurrahman Auf? He knew that this is wrong. Because he knows the Sabiqun al-Awwalun min al-Muhajirin, that they are the best of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. The Ahl Badr radiallahu anhum. And before them, the Ashra al-Bashirin bil-Jannah. And they were included in those who fought in Badr radiallahu anhum. The Muhajirun, the great companions. So Abdurrahman Auf said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, look what he said. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of that, he said, La tusubbu ashabi. What about if the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard that a companion, that this individual is saying companion did bid'ah? What about that? And then somebody says, no, but he didn't say bid'ah. He said ahdatha. He did new thing. What is ahdatha, ya akhi? Ahdatha is bid'ah. Barakallahu fik. Ahdatha fi din. Ish ma'na. Don't play games. And don't pick and choose how you want things to be read. This is clear and what's apparent. That anyone who brings a newly invented matter in the deen is innovation. Ahdatha. Nasallahu salama. May Allah protect us. فَلَا تَسُبُّوا أَصْحَابِي فإن أحدكم لو تصدق بأحد ذهبا ما بلغ مد أحدهم ولا نصيفه. If any one of you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, were to give charity the size of Uhud in gold, it would not reach. He would not reach even a mud of what they have put forward. Have you been to Medina? How great Uhud is as a mountain. The biggest mountain in Medina. The biggest mountain in Medina. Rasulullah said, if you were to give that size of that mountain in gold, in charity, who's going to reach that? Contemplate, who can reach that? The gold, the whole of Uhud in gold in charity. You will not even reach a mud of one of them that they have given or they have put forward. You will not even reach this. Yani two hands put together is called a mud. Wala nasifa. Not even half of that, of what they have done. That's considering, Shaykh Rabi, this is the fiqh of the ulama. Great ulama, ya ikhwan. Great ulama. Reviving the deen. The mujaddidun, the revivers, the muhaddithun, the mujaddidun, the fuqaha, these great a'imma. Look what Shaykh Rabi Hafidhullah said. May Allah protect him, preserve him, and deal with those who are speaking ill about him. And Allah does that anyway. Allah deals with them. Man aadali waliyan faqad adantu bil harb. Naam. Whoever harms a friend of mine, I'm war with them. Look what he said. Beautiful benefit. He said that is considering they have only done a mud of good deed. Did they only do a mud of good deed? Or did they only do this much of a good deed? The Sahaba? They memorized Quran. They conveyed it far and wide. They went to different countries, whether it's Yemen, Mu'adh bin Jabal going to Yemen, Uthmaan going to Sham. They went to so many different countries, spreading the deen, the Quran and the Sunnah far and wide. They strove to defend this deen in their defending this deen. Naam. And they defended Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the battles and aided him. And they were the most charitable and the best in their understanding and in their methodology of this ummah. And you want to write 60, 70 pages or to find that the Sahaba, to mention Sahaba did bid'ah. Allah salama. Allah protect us. That's considering they only did one mud. They did more than that. So how many, look at the beautiful statement of Shaykh Rabi. How many Uhuds do we need then of gold? Considering, if you just said that they did only this, one mud. You need Uhud of gold, you still don't reach what they've done. Not even half. How many Uhuds of gold do you need and I need to reach their level? Allahu Akbar. They are the best people ever to be, radiallahu anhum, of this ummah. After Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, la shak wa la raib. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, he said, Aw Abul Hasan, if you see a man mention any of the companions with evil, then question his Islam. To that extent, question his Islam. Na'am, and As-Sam'ani, radiallahu anhu, he said, rahimahullah, he said, as quoted by Ibn Hajar in Fath al-Bari, exposing the faults of the companions is a sign of betrayal from the one who does it. Rather, it is an innovation and a misguidance. Now, don't say, but this Imam also said that, and this scholar also said that. Ya akhi, we do not worship Allah by the statements of scholars. We worship, as you been claiming day and night, we worship Allah with قال Allah, قال Rasulullah. Naam, an ijma' of the Sahaba. What Allah and His Rasul conveyed. We worship Allah upon dalil, upon adillah. If a scholar made a mistake, may Allah forgive him. على عين وراس. ولكن الحق أحب إلينا. The truth is more beloved to us. And haqq is clear. So we follow the haqq. We follow the truth to the best of our ability. And we love those Allah loves. And we love those that the Messenger ﷺ has mentioned that we should love. Shaykh Salih Fawzan Hafidullah said, and what is obligatory regarding them, meaning the Sahaba, is to believe that they are the best nation and the best of generations due to their precedence over others and being chosen to accompany the Prophet ﷺ. Naam. And there are lots of statements. I can't read all of it because of the time, but this is only a summary of that. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, if you're going to follow someone, then follow those who have already passed away. Because the one who's living, you can't really guarantee that they will not be prone to fitna, prone to trial and tribulation. And then he mentioned, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم, the companions of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. كانوا خير هذه الأمة. They were the best of this nation. وأبرها قلوبا, and the most righteous in terms of their hearts. وأقلها تكلفا. They didn't go and exaggerate in what they were doing. They were simple. They lived simply. نعم. قوم اختارهم الله. Simply what? Meaning according to the dalil, according to the sunnah of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. قوم اختارهم الله. A people Allah chose. لصحبة نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. Chose them to be companions of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. وإقامة دينه, and to establish his deen. Allahu Akbar. Allah chose them. فَعَرَفُوا لَهُمْ فَضْلَهُمْ. So know their rights. Who's this who said this? Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. And know their rights. He's from the elders amongst the companions. He said, know their rights. وَاتَّبِعُوهُمْ فِي آثَارِهِمْ, and follow them in their narrations and their ways. وَتَمَسَّكُوا بِمَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ مِنْ أَخْلَاقِهِمْ وَسِيَرِهِمْ أو وَسَيْرِهِمْ, and follow them in that which they are upon in terms of their manners and in their way. فَإِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا عَلَى الْهُدَى الْمُسْتَقِيمِ, for they were upon guidance, mustaqim, yani upon the straight path. And that's mentioned in the tafsir of Al-Baghawi. Na'am, and Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah rahimahullah mentioned in Majmu' Fatawa, volume 3, page 126. And Ibn Al-Qayyim rahimahullah also mentioned that. Na'am. The Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith, he said, لا تمس النار مسلما رآني. The hellfire would not touch a Muslim who saw me. The Sahaba met the Rasul ﷺ. And saw me here means met me, because those who were blind amongst the Sahaba, they're still considered to be companions, even though they did not see Rasulullah ﷺ, but they were in his presence. And the Rasul ﷺ also mentioned another narration, طوبى لمن رآني وآمن بي. Glad tidings to the ones who see me and believed in me. So that is a Sahabi, the one who met me, believed in me, and died upon Iman. So let's look at, we know the Khulafa ar-Rashidin, the best of the companions. In a narration in Sunan ibn Majah, Sa'id bin Zayd radiallahu anhu, he heard some people speaking about Sahaba. He overheard them, and he said, I heard the message. Just look, subhanallah, he didn't argue, he didn't philosophize. Ala tul, I qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Straight away, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Abu Bakr wa Umar fil Jannah. Straight away. You are speaking about Sahaba. Abu Bakr, qala Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Abu Bakr wa Umar fil Jannah. And he said, I heard them in the beginning. He said, I heard the Messenger ﷺ say, and I'm not one to say he said something he didn't say. Allahu Akbar. And this hadith is sahih, authentic. In Sunan Majah, Shaykh Albani said it's authentic. I heard the Messenger ﷺ say, Abu Bakr wa Umar fil Jannah. And if you were to do actions, the period of the life of Nuh alayhi salam, how many years is that? 950 years. If you were to do actions for not righteous actions for 950 years, you would not be able to reach the level of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. 950 years of amal salih, you will not be able to reach the Sahaba. Allahu Akbar. It shows you the manzila of the Sahaba. Idhan famsiku, then withhold. The best of the Sahaba, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar al-Khattab. A woman came to the Messenger ﷺ and said, who shall I follow after you? She said, iqtadi billadaini min ba'di. Follow those two after me, meaning Abu Bakr and Umar. From the highest form of ijma'. And thereafter, who was chosen to be after Umar al-Khattab was martyred while he was praying Salat al-Fajr by the Majusi, by the fire worshipper? Who did Umar al-Khattab? It was suggested that the rest of the 10 promised paradise, the rest of the 6 from the Shura, to choose the next Khalifa. And who did they choose amongst them? They chose Uthmaan ibn Affaan radiallahu anhu. Number 1, and we are going to count it. Number 1, Uthmaan radiallahu anhu was born in Mecca. And Mecca, we know, is the best place, beloved to Allah. Some of the scholars said Taif. Walakin al-rajih, wallahu a'lam, Mecca. And number 2, he became Muslim after the messengership of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while he was about 34 years old. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu gave him da'wah, and he's from the 4th of those who became Muslim. Number 3, he was well known even before he was a Muslim, well known, well respected, honorable, righteous, and he was honorable and sharif and ghani. He had wealth, known to be charitable and so on, even in Jahiliyyah. And the Rasul said, khayrukum fil Jahiliyyah, khayrukum fil Islam. The best of you in Jahiliyyah are the best of you in Islam. Ida, what's the next part? Ida faqihu. If they have understanding. I pointed here, it should be here. This is where the fiqh is. In the heart. Ida faqihu. If they understand. Memorize, no faham. What's the point of quoting? Cut and paste from Shamila. Maktaba Shamila. 200 pages, 300 pages. He said, and you have no faham. And you don't even know what you're narrating. You bring in Rafidi here to say that Hisham ibn Ghazi is thiqa. You bring in, you mentioned the scholars in the field of Jarh wa Ta'deel, scholars in not the field of Jarh. Everywhere and everywhere. Cut and paste. Habbu wa dabba, kullu shay. Is this ilm? أين الفهم وأين الفقه من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. He gives him the understanding of the religion. And where's the ihtiram of the ulama? The respect of the scholars that we have. Respect, the honor. Allah's raised the ulama. يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. Many levels Allah has raised them. And you say, oh, Shaykh Rabi has got ghulu, he's got extremism. Oh, Shaykh Rabi is makir, is a plotter and a planner. What is the difference between you? Who needs the hizbiyun? Who needs the partisan groups from the Ikhwan Muslimin, from Jama'at Tabligh, from the Rafida, from the... Who needs all these? When on your doorstep you got individuals reviling the ulama. Subhanallah. أهكذا العلم وهكذا الأدب. Is this the manner of the talib al-ilm, of the one who treads the path of knowledge? No, this is not. علماء ورثة الأنبياء. إن الأنبياء لم يورثوا دينارا ولا درهما ولكن ورثوا العلم فمن أخذ بحظ وافر. The ulama, as the Rasul said, are the inheritors of the prophets. They don't leave behind dinars, dirhams. They're not concerned about your dinar and dirham. They're worried about knowledge, passing it by. The knowledge of Rasulullah, that is the true inheritance. قال الله قال Rasulullah. So whoever gains it gains a great treasure. Ihtiram. Love for those who love this blessed path, the way of Ahl Sunnah. Number 4. Uthmaan radiallahu anhu narrated about 146 hadith. So he comes under the narration. Allah brightened in the faces of those who memorized and understood As Ibn Athir said, it means فَوَعَّاهَا, understood. Not just to memorize, mashallah. Faham. And from faham of Ahl Sunnah is to love. وَلَا أَنْ بَرَاء يا أخي. Love for the sake of Allah and hate for the sake of Allah. حب في الله والبغض في الله. من أحب في الله وأبغض في الله وأعطى لله ومنع لله فقد استكمل الإيمان. Whoever loves for Allah's sake, he hates for Allah's sake, he gives for Allah's sake, he withholds for Allah's sake, he has completed Iman. Where's wala and bara? Love those who love this deen, those who defended Tawheed and Sunnah for the past 40, 50, 60 years, who have been calling to Tawheed and Sunnah. All of a sudden, mashallah, all those narrations and all that juhud goes out the window. Goes out the window. This is not the way. This is deviation in manhaj. Just like the Khawarij had deviation in manhaj. The Khawarij, they also spoke about the ulama in their time. Yes. They spoke about Ali ibn Abi Talib radhiyallahu anhu. Abdurrahman Muljam, even though he memorized the whole Quran, did it benefit him? He killed Ali ibn Abi Talib radhiyallahu anhu. He killed Ali ibn. Did it benefit him not to kill the Sahaba? No, he didn't. Why? Because he met with the Khawarij and he followed their path of the Khawarij in reviling the ulama of their time. So this is why also we love the Sahaba and we love those who love them. We love the ulama and we love those who love them. And the opposite is true. We hate those who hate them. La shak. That is فَقَدْ اسْتَكْمَلَ الْإِيمَانِ. That is completeness of faith. Because the Sahaba radiallahu anhum were the best people who brought us these narrations so that we can practice the deen of Allah. Number 5. Allah mentioned, أَمَّنْ هُوَ قَانِتٌ أَنَاءَ اللَّيْلِ سَاجِدًا وَقَائِمًا يَحْذَرُ الْآخِرَةِ وَيَرْجُو رَحْمَةَ رَبِّهِ. What's the next verse? هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. Are the ones equal? The ones who are in the night praying, worshipping Allah in the night, preparing for the akhirah, and also fearing, worshipping Allah with fear and hope, seeking the mercy of their Lord. Are they equal to others who are not doing that? Who is that referring to? That verse was revealed, as one of the companions mentioned, it was revealed for Uthmaan radiallahu anhu. And even Aisha radiallahu anha referred to that. That this verse was revealed to Uthmaan radiallahu anhu because of his prayer at night, because of his salah in the night. So Allah raised Uthmaan radiallahu anhu for his ibadah and his understanding and his aqeedah and his love for this deen. Allah raised the Sahaba in general, the best of them, Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali radiallahu anhum ajma'in. So that verse is revealed, as some of the books of tafsir mention, that it was revealed regarding Uthman. Even in Jahiliyyah, if you read the seerah of Uthman radiallahu anhu, even in Jahiliyyah, he had never prostrated to any idol. Nor did he ever drink alcohol. Nor did he ever commit any evil. He was a noble man. He was a righteous man, a good man. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him to al-Islam. Number 7, he was very shy, modest. Even the angels are shy in his presence. Prophet ﷺ one day was sitting down and his leg was bare, or part of his leg was bare. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was at the door, said, come in. And he sat down. Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu came in, sat down. When Uthman radiallahu anhu came in, he covered his leg. And Aisha asked why. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, even the angels are shy in his presence. Should I not be shy for the one that even the angels are shy in his presence? Allahu Akbar. Uthman radiallahu anhu. Naam. Hadith Sahih Muslim. And also in Medina, it's well known, number 8, that he built a well for the people to drink. He was noble, doing sadaqah jariyah, continuous charity. This is something we should look at in our lives as well. That which will help us in the akhirah. Continuous charity, knowledge you leave behind, or you are aiding towards that. Not reviling the ulama. The opposite, ya akhi. You missed the plot. Go back to basics. And go back to the foundations. Number 9. He's from the Sabiqeen al-Awwaleen. From the first and foremost to enter Islam. And Allah raised them and praised them. Number 10. He is from the ones who migrated, the 2 migrations, the Hijrah. Hijratain. Hijrah to Habasha, which was not a Muslim country, but it was easier for the Muslims to practice their faith there. Naam. Ila Malik Habasha. Number 11. He married, first and foremost, Ruqayya, the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, when you and me want to marry our daughters off, we look for the best of the people. We look for the best. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of course, we know Abu Bakr as-Siddiq from the best of the companions, and they are the best of the companions. But after them, Uthmaan ibn Affaan, radiallahu anhu, he married his daughter. Rasulullah married his daughter Ruqayya to him. And she fell ill in the 2nd year Hijriya. That time was during the Battle of Badr. She fell ill. And Uthman wanted to go out for jihad. But Rasulullah said to him, to stay and look after your wife and my daughter, Ruqayya. Because her illness was severe. And it was the illness that made her lose her life in the end. She didn't recover from her illness. And she passed away. And after that, Uthman was so sad. The Prophet saw that in him. He said, when he asked him about his situation, of course he knew his situation, he asked him, Uthman radiallahu anhu said, it's like my back is broken. Subhanallah. Yes, Ruqayya radiallahu anha, from the best of the companienesses. And the sisters, and the brothers, those who are married in a marriage, they should try to bring about the best in their marriage. Subhanallah. The best for their children, the best for themselves. Look, this was a blessed marriage, a beautiful marriage between Uthman radiallahu anhu and Ruqayya, from the best of the companions radiallahu anhum. And when she passed away, he said, it's like my back is broken. Subhanallah. That's how a good woman is. She aids her husband and she protects his wealth and his belongings. And she brings about, she helps him get to Jannah. And she helps her husband keep away from the hellfire. And likewise the husband. So if that husband is away for a period of time, it is as if there's a big gap. Uthman radiallahu anhu was so saddened. And he said, secondly, that lineage or that relationship, being a relative of yours, has now been cut off now. Because before I was your son-in-law, and now I'm no longer your son-in-law. Look at the love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, I give you Kulthum to be married, so that the relationship will still continue to be between me and you. That relationship, that love. Kulthum radiallahu anha, at that time she wasn't married, his second daughter. And that's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about Dhun Nurayn, or it was mentioned about Dhun Nurayn, that he is Dhun Nurayn, the possessor of the 2 lights. After one of the wives had passed away, he married the other one. After one of the sisters passed away, he married the other one, Kulthum radiallahu anha. And that is a blessing. Allah raised him radiallahu anha. And likewise, the Prophet said, even after she passed away, even after it was said that even if I had other daughters, I would marry them to you. If you after one had passed away. Here, number 12, Uthman radiallahu anhu, he helped prepare the expedition to Tabuk, the expedition for da'wah, for the jihad in Tabuk. He prepared and he gave to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam 300 ba'ir, horses or camels, with what they contain as well. Of course, preparation for each camel or horse, yani what it needed, so that he can help prepare half of the expedition to Tabuk. And he gave to the Messenger ﷺ 1,000 dinar from gold. And he gave it in the hand of Rasulullah ﷺ to aid the Messenger ﷺ in this expedition. And Uthmaan, and the Prophet ﷺ said on a mimbar, and he was heard by the companions to say on the mimbar, Uthmaan, after this day, nothing will harm Uthmaan. Or meaning, he's blessed from what he has brought. He has blessed what he brought, except that which is going to be already written for him, of martyrdom. Number 13. He is from the 10 promised paradise, and from those who Allah's the Sahaba united in gathering. Number 14. Uthman gathered the Quran upon its original dialect, the dialect of Quraysh, because Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he came to Uthman radiallahu anhu and said to him that the people are reciting in a different mode, and so to protect and preserve that, look, Uthman radiallahu anhu took it upon his shoulders. Do we say that as bid'ah as well, to cover the Quran in one book? Do we say that's bid'ah of Uthman as well? No. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي. Upon you to hold on to my sunnah and the sunnah of the rightly guided caliphs. Those who don't know this hadith and its understanding, they accuse Uthman and others of doing bid'ah. A'udhu billah. It is possible, no doubt, for a companion to make a mistake. But here we have ijma' sukuti. Silent ijma'. No one opposed him. That is authentic narration that we can bring. Nobody opposed him in covering the Quran and in the first adhan of Jum'ah. From the companions, it was accepted. All of Ahl Medina accepted it without anyone saying anything. Without anyone saying anything. And the Ahl Medina who came afterwards, and those who say Ibn Umar said that is bid'ah, that the first adhan on Jum'ah is bid'ah. Then Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu did not say that. Uthbutul arsh thumma nqush. Establish the arsh first and then engrave on it. Then try to make a pattern on it. There's no arsh here in the first place. Where are you going to engrave? On water. The hadith, the narration, the athar of Ibn Umar is not authentic. That narration, as Shaykh Rabi Hafidullah mentioned, that it is a munkar narration, because in it, first and foremost, it opposes that which is known, that Sahaba don't do bid'ah. Sahaba don't do bid'ah. Secondly, in the narration of, and the criticism here is on whether, or is whether Hisham ibn al-Ghaz, whether he is thiqah or whether he's just salih. Those who say that he is thiqah, some scholars have said that. We are just. We mention for us and against us. ما في مشكلة. أهل السنة are just. يقولون ما لهم وما عليهم. ما في مشكلة. But why have you left out kibar al-muhaddithin, the likes of Imam Ahmad, and another statement from Yahya ibn Ma'in? Great a'imma who have also said that that Hisham ibn al-Ghaz, who narrated this narration, going back to Ibn Umar to say it's bid'ah, that Uthman did bid'ah. Why didn't you mention that those kibar, the other side, or some of those great statements? Why did you truncate some of them and not show the whole statement? Why did you not show more than one statement of scholars like Yahya ibn Ma'in? Why is it just what was suitable for you? That's why Shaykh Rabi exposed those weak students who are computeriyun, ashab computer. How do we know ashab computer? Because of the clear cut and paste. You can always check. Usually, when somebody's cutting and pasting, you got the tashkils. On the cutting and pasting, you got the tashkils. But the person, may Allah reward the ulama, they exposed them because not just the tashkils, the numbering was wrong from the reference. So it looks like the student, mashallah, Allah, mashallah, 50, 60 pages of quotes. Computery. He just cut it and pasted. Cut. And Jammah, Hatib Layl, he gathered Rafidi to say Hisham ibn al-Ghaz is thiqah. Just to say that Uthman did bid'ah in the end. That is natija. At least we are on a better standpoint. We're trying to defend Uthman radiallahu anhu. We're trying to defend the Sahaba. They don't do bid'ah. Radiallahu anhum. Radiallahu anhum. Ajma'in. And Shaykh Salih Fawzan Hafidhullah said, those who accuse Uthman of doing bid'ah by introducing the first adhan on Yawm al-Jum'ah, then their statement is bid'ah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Who said this? Shaykh Salih bin Fawzan al-Fawzan. And I'll mention to you. Uthman radiallahu anhu. Na'am. Number 7. He's number 16. He memorized, na'am, the Quran. He memorized Quran. Number 17. The bay'ah of bay'at al-Ridwan. Prophet said, because he wasn't present at that time, he said, my hand will be like the hand of Uthman, as if he gave bay'ah, pledge of allegiance. This is who saying this? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number 18. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam one time, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was at the door or wanted to enter. Before that he said, the one who's going to enter next is going to be, he's from Al-Jannah. Who was it? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He said, the next one also from Al-Jannah. Who was it? Umar al-Khattab. He said, the next one to enter also is from Al-Jannah. Who was it? Uthmaan ibn Affaan radiallahu anhu. Al-Jannah. And he was a martyr. From the martyrs. The Prophet prophesied that. He, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, when he was on Uhud, and Uhud shook, and he said, Uthbut Uhudan, be firm Uhud, for upon you is a Nabi, is a prophet, and a Siddiq, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, and Shahidan, and 2 martyrs, Umar ibn Khattab, and Uthman ibn Affan, radiallahu anhu. So defending Uthman, radiallahu anhu, that he's from the best of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhu. But those who try to say that Uthman did bid'ah, abadan. Uthman did not do bid'ah. They brought narrations after narrations. Some of them are repeated narrations. If only they knew they were repeated, because it comes in the Shamila as repeated. But they didn't realize. They thought that knowledge is easy. They thought that knowledge is cut and paste. Knowledge is fear of Allah. Knowledge is respect of the ulama. And at the same time they're giving it. Oh, Shaykh Rabi', he didn't follow the way of the muhaddithin in mentioning that this narration is not authentic. Even, look at Shaykh Rabi's fiqh. Look, he's عالم in hadith, يا أخي. محدث. رافع راية الجرح والتعديل في هذا العصر. الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله said. And Shaykh bin Baz رحمه الله said, I don't know anyone under the sky more knowledgeable than hadith than him. You come lately, رويبضة, تلك رويبضة, رجل تافه يتكلم في أمور عامة. A lowly man speaking about the general affairs, thinking, mashallah, he's reached the sky. You're saying that, oh, Shaykh Rabi'. And what's the Shaykh Rabi' trying to do? Defend Uthman radiallahu anhu and show that you collecting all these narrations saying that Uthman did bid'ah, incorrect. So what did this type of Rawaiba do? They gathered these narrations and while they're doing that they said Shaykh Rabi' he didn't even follow the way of the muhaddithin. He quoted muhaddithin, ya akhi, ya jahid. He quoted muhaddithin one after the other and showed where you have fallen short from these narrations that you have brought, gathering, even a Rafidi. Naam, even a Rafidi. Is this how low you've gone? To say that Uthman did bid'ah? Even a Rafidi? Rafid are known to do that. It was them who used to say Uthman did bid'ah by introducing the first adhan on Friday. It was them who used to say that at that time. It wasn't Ahl Sunnah. It was them. Naam. And that's why Shaykh Rabi said, I make da'if these athar with hujaj, qawiyya, with proofs that are strong. نعم منها أنه أثر منكر يتضمن الطعن في أصحاب رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. This athar which is munkar, which necessitates reviling the companions of the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم. In particular Uthman, I mean. نعم. One after the other, he dealt with him. And this Inabi, the one who's gathered these narrations and spoken ill of Shaykh Rabi', this is out there on Shabakat al-Samum. What did he say? You find him reviling Shaykh Rabi', speaking ill of Shaykh Rabi'. How? Saying that he doesn't even follow the way of the muhaddithin and making comments here and there with exclamation marks when he is the one who's miskeen. Naam. Because as the poet said, Ya natih al-jabali likay tuhdimahu, ishfiq ala ra'sik wa la tashfiq ala al-jabali. Oh, one who wants to headbutt the mountain, have mercy on your head, not on the mountain. So Shaykh Rabi' Hafidhullah mentioned the other statement of Yahya ibn Ma'in, rahimahullah, where he didn't just say thiqah, where he said he's salih. And he brought other narrations. And this narration, no doubt scholars Some said thiqah, some said other than that. But what is the rajih? What is the qawl al-sahih? The qawl al-sahih is that, and the strong position is that we don't hold them, that the Sahaba to do bid'ah. And we don't gather these narrations in order to say the Sahaba did bid'ah. Rather, some of the scholars, look how much care they had. They said even if the statement of Ibn Umar, rather than that Uthmaan rather did bid'ah, that did the new invention of the first adhan, the scholars like the likes of Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali said, this is in the language, not in the deen. Look, at least say that. Keep away from reviling the companions. Defend the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Make excuse for the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. But even to that level they won't do. Even to that level. And they say, Shaykh Albani rahimahullah said, Shaykh Albani rahimahullah did not say that Uthman did bid'ah. Barakallahu fiqh. Oh, Shaykh bin Baz said, Shaykh bin Baz rahimahullah did not say, and I have his statement here, that Uthman radiallahu anhu did bid'ah. No way. Uthman radiallahu anhu, from the great companions. What did Shaykh bin Baz rahimahullah say? After Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah wa salam ala Rasulillah, he mentioned what bid'ah is. Man ahdatha fi amrina hada ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad. It's rejected. Those who bring new things is rejected. And then he mentioned the issue of Uthman radiallahu anhu. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي عضوا عليها بالنواجد وهو من he says عثمان من خلفاء الراشدين and he brought about the second adhan المصلحة للمسلمين as a benefit for the believers. Was it new? Prophet did something similar. As Shaykh Rabi explained, the Prophet added a new adhan in the morning to help the people prepare for the morning prayer. A new adhan. So based upon that qiyas, or based upon that situation, there was this new adhan that was introduced in the outskirts, not in the same masjid, in the outskirts of Medina, in Awali at that time, which was the marketplace, in order to call the people to prepare themselves to the jama'ah, the masjid, to pray with the Muslims. So Shaykh bin Baz rahimahullah defended Uthman radiallahu anhu in this statement. You can find this on his website, that he said, rather this was for the maslahah, for the benefit of the Muslims. And it's not, and this is from Khulafa, alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnati al-khulafa ar-rashidin al-mahdiyyin. We mentioned Ibn Rajab said this in the language. And other than them, Naam, who said this in the language, Ababatin, and other great scholars. I have here, if we number them very quickly, the likes of Ibn Rajab, Ibn Hajar, Ali al-Qari, Ababatin, Naam, Al-Abbad, Qastalani, Al-Zurqani, Al-Shawkani, Naam, Al-Laknawi, Al-Azim Abadi, Sahib Awn al-Ma'bud, and Mubarak Furi. All of them, as Shaykh Rabi clarified, and other than him from his students, that this is referring to language if we accept that narration. Just like Umar ibn Khattab, when he said about the Taraweeh, Ni'matul bid'ah, what a beautiful bid'ah it is. He wasn't referring into the deen, he was referring into the language. Referring to the language. So upon us is to love the companions, and especially the Khulafa al-Rashidin al-Mahdiyyin min ba'di. And those who said what Shaykh Rabi said, from the great scholars of the likes of Imam Ahmad, and Imam Abu Hatim al-Razi, and Imam al-Dhahabi, and Imam Duhaym, and Imam Yahya ibn Ma'in, in the other wordings that they had. So therefore, there are great scholars who allude to that, and from them, Ad-Daraqutni and other than them. And these are just some of the quotes who had similar quotes to what Shaykh Rabi Hafidhullah said. So how is it to be said, oh, Shaykh Rabi did not even follow the muhaddithin, the way of the muhaddithin, the way of the scholars of hadith before him. We have just quoted to you that he has. Barakallahu fiqh. Na'am. Wal haq wadih. So therefore, to close, we say, and we remind each and every one of us what Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah said, فَالْحَطْ عَلَى هَذَيْنِ الشَّيْخَيْنِ الشيخ ربيع والشيخ مقبل. نعم, these two great scholars, he praised. نعم الداعيين إلى الكتاب والسنة وما كان عليه السلف الصالح ومحاربة الذين يخالف, and in defending and also opposing that which goes against, and those who go against, يخالفون هذا المنهج الصحيح هو كما لا يخفى على الجميع. This is, you'll find, is not hidden from you. from most of you or all of you. إِنَّمَا يَصْدُرُ مِنْ أَحَدْ رَجُلَيْنِ. Reviling them, speaking against them, comes from one of two people. Jahil, an ignorant person, or Sahib Hawa, a person of desires. So may Allah protect us from those who speak against them. For in this Maktabat al-Samum, this website, they have in there saying that Shaykh Rabi' has even followed the way of Abu al-Hasan al-Ma'rabi, al-Mubtadi'. How many books did Shaykh Rabi' write against Abu al-Hasan al-Ma'rabi? In defending Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, radiallahu anhu. In defending Usama bin Zayd, radiallahu anhu. In defending the Sahaba, when Abu Hasan al-Masri said that the Sahaba are ghutha, they are scum. A'udhu billah. Shaykh Rabi' defended the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, and defended the usul of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. For you to say, you rawaybid, to say that Shaykh Rabi' has is a follower of Abu Hasan al-Ma'rabi. Is this your manhaj, what it goes down to? Na'am. And as Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah used to say, كنا تحت المطر فصرنا تحت المزارب. We were under the rain, we became under the drain. We became under the drain. Yes, before, under the rain, mashallah, tabarakallah. You heard about hadith, you heard about ayat, you heard about fahm al-salaf. Now, reviling the companions, or reviling the, I should have mentioned, reviling the scholars, you're under the drain. Under the drain. نعم. لا يضر السحاب نبح الكلاب. The clouds will not be harmed by the barking dogs. The barking of dogs, no doubt. The ulama, warathatul anbiya. Shaykh Muhammad al-Banna rahimahullah, who we met in 1415. Naam. At that time, he showed us the love of Shaykh Rabi' and the love of the ulama. He said, I used to go with Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin together for Hajj. He used to do the fiqh, I used to do the seerah. And we used to love each other for the sake of Allah. And likewise, Shaykh Abdulillaah bin Baz, rahimahullah. And likewise, Shaykh Rabi' hafidullah, we used to go on expeditions together. Shaykh Muhammad al-Banna, rahimahullah, used to wash the clothes of his students. At night, used to prepare their breakfast in the morning. The love of the ulama that he had. And he was older than them by about 20, 30 years. But he loved the ulama, because this is a sign of iman. And you speaking against the ulama, saying that Shaykh Rabi's got ulu. Shaykh Rabi's got ghulu, mashallah, tabarakallah. What extremism are you upon then? What extremism are you upon? Shaykh Muhammad al-Banna rahimahullah, when he was asked, من في هذا العصر وما قبله يعرف حقيقة جل الدعاة مثله. Who in this time who knows the reality of the callers like him? Man? Who? ويعرف بالدليل والبرهان. And they say, oh, he didn't have dalil. He didn't have dalil. MashaAllah. He didn't have dalil. That means you don't know him. In the matters 7 years of advising, there's no dalil in that. ما في. أنا أقول إن ربيع بن هادي يحيى بن معين في هذا العصر. He is the Yahya ibn Ma'in of this time. يعني from the greatest of the scholars in this time in knowing the men. وأعرف الناس بالرجال بالدليل, with proof. شهادة الحق. And he loved the Shaykh. He would invite him to his house. One time he came to his house, invite him, and his love for him, he just hugged him and picked him up from the ground. For love of the Shaykh. And fed him and would visit him to his house. And the rest of the mashayikh. When Shaykh Ubaid Hafidullah, same thing. When he hugged him, he cried. And you reviling the Shaykh, the ulama, saying, oh, you people, you only have 4. You limit the deen to 4. No, we don't. Don't lie. We don't limit the deen to Shaykh Rabi' and Shaykh Ubaid and Shaykh Muhammad bin and Shaykh Abdul Bukhari. No. We studied and we heard from the likes of Shaykh bin Baz rahimahullah, and we met them. And the likes of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah, and we quote from them. And the likes of Shaykh Salih Fawzan, and we met them. And we continue to love them. And we continue to quote from them. And the likes of Shaykh Al-Haydan hafidhahullah. It's not 4. Wake up. Wake up. If you're only seen 4, there's your problem. Open your eyes. There's something in him. We love the ulama, whoever they be. The ulama of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. But the reality is, you are only on your own. You are the one who's isolated. We love the ulama, whether they're in Egypt, whether in Saudi, whether in Algeria. We love the ulama, whether they're in Yemen. Alhamdulillah. Because they're the ones Allah has raised many levels. And they're the ones we aspire to be with. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, to be with the best of the people. من الصديقين والشهداء نعم من الصديقين من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. قال ابن بطة. And we end with this statement. Take this statement, memorize it, understand it, and use it. Ibn Battah mentioned in Al-Iban al-Kubra, volume 2, page 596. فإن هذه الفتن These trials and tribulations that occur between what happened and what's said, and this, they are a way of what? What did he say? In the times of fitan and ahwa, فإن هذه الفتن والأهواء, these trials and tribulations and desires قد فضحت خلقا كثيرا, has exposed many people. Wallah, exposed many people. We haven't changed since the 90s, when we used to know Sheikh bin Baz and Sheikh ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah in 1990, in 1991, until today. Those ulama we used to call in 95, Sheikh Ubaid and other than them, we used to call them. We haven't changed. They're the same ulama till today. As for those in Medina.com and other than them, they're the ones who've changed. They used to go to them in the beginning. They no longer went to them. They used to call them, and these other, they used to call, no longer. We haven't changed. This fitan and this ahwa has exposed, kashafat astarahum, not only exposed them, but uncovered their astar, their hidden things that they held. Their hidden things that they held from usul qabiha, from evil foundations that they held. فَإِنَّ أَصْوَنَ النَّاسِ نَفْسِهِ, the most protected person to himself is who? أَحْفَظُهُمْ لِسَانَهُ, the one who protects his tongue the most. So protect your tongue from the ulama. Don't speak ill of them. Love them and aid them in that which they bring. As for saying, Sheikh Rabi' Makir, عنده غلو, and this Rawaybid in the morning we read, Nasallahu Salama, that, oh, Sheikh Rabi is like Abu al-Hasan. May Allah protect us. Alhamdulillah, الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. This deen is clear. لا تزال طائفة من أمتي على الحق ظاهرين لا يضرهم من خذلهم. They will not be harmed by those who try to deceive them. The deceivers. They will say, Sheikh bin Baz said, Sheikh bin Uthaymin, Sheikh Rabi said, he's got hatred in his heart. They will not be harmed by those who deceive them or try to deceive them. وَلَا مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ, nor by those who oppose them, until the command of Allah comes there upon that. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ala khayri khalqi Muhammad wa akhir da'wana. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.